Hi everyone, welcome and thank you for joining me. My name is Marlene and I am with A Room to Bloom. So today I was out and about and I received a couple of messages that I thought I would start with. The first thing that I experienced that, is kind of coming in the energy here would be that literally as soon as I took note of this truck in front of me, and it was a dump truck that was empty, and a really big sign on the back said, it is my goal to drive safely. Okay, and it was a 1888 number. Okay, so eights speak of abundance. So someone's goal is to drive safely, and what that feels like to me is about in their journey through life and in their spiritual experience, right? But it was there was more to that, because what the license plate said, I don't have it in front of me right now, but I barely got that written down, and I set it aside, and then I look up and right in front of me is another vehicle with the exact same message. And so this phone number is a phone number that you can call to if people are not driving safe, right? And then there's a number to report that. So, when you are on your journey, you can look at those, those letters. What are they meaning? And then also the numbers, right? So there are messages in that. So it's about paying attention. Now, the other thing is, the other thing that I wanted to mention is I have seen, I believe it's 5553. I'm sorry, it was twice today, and then I got 111 twice today as well. So ones speak about the self, and fives speak about changes in your life. So you might be having some transitions in your personal life, okay? And so just let's see what comes up based on that. I'm going to start with a deck. I haven't used it in a long time. I only used it a few times. It's called Spirit Cats, and they are inspirational messages. So let's see what comes up here. Okay, the first one is connection, right? So that would be one of the ways your guides speak with you is through synchronicities, through numbers, okay? The Spirit Cats reminds us that we are not alone. We are a web of connections. Our attitudes, actions, and energy ripple outward and touch people in ways seen and unseen. No single action stands alone. Each action, idea, and feeling is born out of countless influences and in turn has its own unique effect. We see this most clearly and dramatically in our innermost circle, but this also extends outwardly to humanity, the earth, and the universe. Our consciousness dances together, challenging, uplifting, teaching, learning, questioning, reassuring, inspiring, and loving. So just understanding that we are all connected, and so what we think, what we say, and what we do is all ends up being interconnected, okay? Oh, by the way, I will show the artwork because it's kind of fun. So we have 7 cats on here, and this reminds me of in the 7 of Cups in the tarot deck, it's about many choices, and it can also be representative of going online on the web, right? And this is what we are. We are a web of connection, if you will, connected through the divine, okay? So what else do we have here? Okay, so here's the cat. It says wild. Meet Samson. He is a shimmering concoction of wildness and strength. He lives perpetually under the full moon with limitless abandon. He races over the hills, feeling the perfect harmony of his body, moving unhindered by thoughts, unfettered by beliefs of who he should be or how he should act. Samson is fully himself, without question or excuse. If you have been the oh so proper house cat for too long, step outside and awaken your precious wild self. Unleash your longings and join Samson under the moon's wild light. Now, this is interesting. I was watching something last night, and this gal had taken over a bar that had a fire there, and so she redid it, and she kind of went not super fancy, but a bit fancier, and then there was this change where it's just like she just wanted to kind of get back to what it was originally, right? And so what's coming to me is the words of not all that glitters is gold, right? So we have a perception sometimes that, oh, that's that, and it's maybe not what we expect, right? Okay, the next one, this one's cute. Okay, it speaks about being unique. How interesting. So look at the, it's like makeup lines, like when people do their makeup, and then these remind me of little, like what a warrior would put on their eyes, right? The eye paint, and then those dots, So it says, meet Helix. He was always a little different from other kitties. At first he felt lonely and alienated. He even considered trying to blend in to be accepted by other cats. But this could never give him the joy that he embraced as his true self would. So he took a risk, and he met people's gazes as himself. He saw that his uniqueness was his beauty, his spark. He alone could twinkle the way that only he can. Miraculously, many kitties around him threw off their normal disguises and began to sparkle in their own way too. Their world became dazzlingly diverse. So embrace the freak within you, and remember, outsiders are in. So isn't that it? As kids, and it's like, oh, this is what fashion is, and this is whatever, programs, however you want to look at it. And it's like, it's loving yourself for who you are, where you are at in your journey, without fear, shame, regret, or anything like that. Okay, let's see. And so we're going to go ahead and take another one of these. Okay, so here is the kitty. Okay, intuition. So it says, meet Ghost Kitten. She is the light within us that helps guide us through our life. She is always beckoning us to enter our inner world, to dig deep, and to meet her there. If you are quiet, you can hear her whispering to you, perhaps about a creative project or a person you should reach out to, or even leaving a stifling job. Play with what makes her whisper louder and clearer for you. Maybe it's meditation, or sleeping enough, or taking a shower. Experiment with following intuition and notice what magic unfolds, right? So, the word, when people say ritual, like we use that oftentimes very casually. Oh yeah, their morning ritual is this, right? They have coffee, they do this, they might read, they might journal, and it's all kind of timed out. So that would be, a way that we use the word ritual. For some people, that might be more. But what I'm getting at here is it's like it says, experiment with following your intuition and notice what magic unfolds. So you might try to set up a place just to be your most calm self and whatever, and then I don't know, maybe you set up a place that's by a vent and it's either really hot or cold, and so you're not finding comfort there. So you have to move to a different place, right? And then maybe you'll have a blanket, maybe you won't, so different things. And then pretty soon you start to settle in to what works for you, to tap more deeply into your intuition. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, so this one is interesting. So we have a black and white kitty with a moon on its head. It says catalyst. Okay, meet Luna. She may seem a little ominous at first, but do not worry. She is truly here to help us. She is the catalyst. She is the kitty form of the philosopher's stone, the magical alchemy that metaphorically turns lead into gold. She might shake things up like a crazy thunderstorm, but the sky will be so much clearer afterward. She is the maven of breakthrough and revelations. And when Luna crosses your path, you might feel a shiver, but do not be afraid. This is only the first sign of a miraculous shift, right? So you can feel an energy and you're like, did you feel that? Like there's something that you feel or sense and it starts to shift your situation, right? It's like a storm that kind of stirs things up, right? Okay, so let's see what else we have. All right, I'm going to use a deck called the Guardian Angel Tarot deck. All right, what messages do you have here for the collective? Tell us about connection. What would you like to know us to know about connection? Reminding us that we are not alone. 8 of thoughts. Okay, when we are in our thoughts, this is generally the 8 of swords, saying we are in our thoughts, okay? And you might be in your thoughts feeling like you are alone, but here it's like you don't even have to ask for help from others. You can get out of this. You may feel as though you are restricted by the circumstances that you find yourself in, but that is just an illusion. Make a promise to yourself to refuse to be stuck in a situation that is making you unhappy. Don't wait for someone to come to the rescue when you can free yourself, possibly from a connection or a situation, right? Okay, what else do we have here under the word wild? Okay, we have the 10 of thoughts. Okay, now this is interesting. So this is saying get back to your you don't have to be that proper version of yourself perfectly. The 10 of thoughts is after a really tough situation. Here this couple is getting married. They're going out the door. But I'm going to read this. It's a situation that has been troubling you has come to an end. And you can breathe a sigh of relief. With the challenging times behind you, you can now move on. It is important to fully let go at this juncture. Someone in your life may now finally be free of his or her addictions or codependency issues. Okay? Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on. Under unique, we have choose freedom. Okay? Sometimes you may feel as though your way is blocked, but that is often just an illusion, right? You could free yourself from the obstacles that you are focused on by choosing a different path. So we pivot. This is what this card is saying. Pivot. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. You can pivot and you can be your most unique self, right? Turn your thoughts away from negativity and instead envision endless other possibilities that you might act upon, so that resonate with you and who you are and your gifts and such, right? Okay. Under intuition, we have a new beginning, okay? This is the Fool card, all right? You are at the beginning of a wonderful journey. There's no need to have any fear, as guardian angels will walk beside you every step of the way. You have unique gifts to offer the world. So again, the word unique, right? If you will just free yourself from that which holds you back, which would be representative of that 8 of swords, free yourself from anything that's blocking you mentally, new opportunities will present themselves if you truly believe, which means don't let thoughts of I can't, change those to I can and I am, and I am taking this step. Not I will, I'm going to, I'm taking an action step. I am doing it, right? Okay, under the catalyst, tell us more about this here, please. Okay, a happy change, right? So the catalyst, again, so someone comes in and it's like they cause a thunderstorm, and so but the sky will be much clearer afterwards. A happy change, right? But oftentimes that happy change comes after what is considered like a tower moment. And some people or situations are catalysts to cause this so that the change can occur, because you may have been stuck and not making any changes, right? So your angels have heard your prayers and have banded together to create a real and joyful changes in your life. Events begin to move forward, and great progress will now be made. You may need to make some rapid decisions due to the suddenness of activity. Be confident and trust the guidance that you receive. Okay? All right, so let's take a little bit more information. Tell us about why this 8 of thought is here, please. 9 of action. Okay, so this is the 9 of wands. This is like a wounded warrior card. Okay, so you've been through a lot, which may have put you into your thoughts. And this gal stands here and she feeds 3 sheep. So it says you've worked hard to create the things that you cherish in your life, such as beloved relationships, amazing accomplishments, and hearth and home. Rest assured that all of these treasures and you are being constantly protected by your angels. In return, Mother Earth, the animals, and the environment need your protection, right? So being, mindful, how can you help the animals? How can you help the earth, right? Just being aware of that. And that also, it does a pivot for you so that it helps you get out of your thoughts, because you are taking action now. You're not up here. You are taking an action step. It doesn't mean do and wear yourself out. It means there's balance. Knowing when to move forward, knowing when to hold still, knowing when to go within, right? So there is balance in this. Tell us more about this wild card and the 10 of thought. Why is the 10 of thought here? Okay, we have the 7 of action card. Now this is the 7 of wands card. You are being called upon to claim your personal power. So what this is saying is set up boundaries, okay? Feel confident as your angels will give you the strength to say no when it is the right thing to do for yourself. Your struggle may actually stem from unresolved inner conflict rather than a conflict with others, right? So here's a snowball, but no one else is in the image, right? And again, that interestingly falls under wild, being your unfettered self, if you will. So, okay, what else do we have here under choosing freedom? Okay, 9 of emotion. This is the 9 of cups. And the 9 of cups card, it's when your wishes are being fulfilled, right? So with your uniqueness, you choose freedom, and now your wishes are being fulfilled. This is a magical time of your life when wishes are granted and dreams come true. It may seem that good luck is following you, but actually the happy times are just your reward for being a loving and wonderful person. Your angels are asking you to enjoy life and to have more fun, right? Being your unique self. Okay, tell us more about this intuition and a new beginning, a new journey here. Okay, interesting. So trusting your intuition in a situation. Again, if you are quiet, you can hear your guides whispering to you, right? Perhaps a creative project or a person you should reach out to. So we have the 5 of action. So here we've got 2 little guys that are throwing snowballs at a group of kids who are coming down the stairs, but they are not dressed for a snowball fight, right? So your angels want you to know that your current challenges pushes you to be assertive and self-confident. Be willing to stand up for yourself and defend your position. You have the right to excuse yourself from those who bring drama into your life, right? So that is standing up for yourself, gives you that new beginning, and trusting your intuition as to what that situation or those situations may be. Okay, the next one under a happy change, under the catalyst, we have a messenger of action. This is a messenger, younger energy, so it's like the page of wands, so it could also be a fire sign, something new and excited related to creativity and or your career, right? So we have a catalyst of some sort coming in, but it brings a happy change in reference to your creativity or career. You may feel an eagerness to learn or you're ready to get going. Although you may feel insecure, do it anyway, right? This card represents someone in your life, or maybe you, who is creative, enthusiastic, and fascinated by life and who wants to try everything. Okay? All right, so now we're going to take some cards here from Divine Directions. Let's see, what messages do you have here that you'd like to bring forth? Holiday. It is time, and this falls under connection, getting out of your thoughts, and being the wounded warrior. It falls here. It says, it is time to go on a holiday that you have been dreaming about. Live life. Take some time and just kind of shift things around what you've been doing. Okay, the next one we have is passion. Passion isn't confined to sexual energy. Life is meant to be felt. Don't hold back. So that falls under the wild card, right? So step outside and awaken your senses, basically, right? Especially after a time of what has been some really challenging times. And a time to set some boundaries. And it could even be in this area, right? Okay, what else do we have? Okay, under the unique, choose freedom and 9 of emotion, like wishes are fulfilled. Ground, it is time to ground and to center, be truly present in your life. Okay, so I kept seeing this today as well, like centering. It came up a number of times, right? So when you feel out of sorts, then essentially you are not centered, right? Because why? You're all over the board, and you're being called to just sit quietly, to allow yourself to be, to not let all of the distractions pull at you, to set some boundaries so that you can regather yourself, right? Think about when someone just has a lot going on and the stress just is overwhelming them, and they're about to break down and cry, or maybe they start to do that, and then they leave the room, they go into another room. What are they doing oftentimes? And then they'll come out and say, I'm sorry, but I had to pull myself together. And that's really what they were doing. They let the emotion, which is just energy in motion, move through them. They felt it. They may have cried, felt some anger, whatever it was, but then pretty soon it subsides, right? And it has moved. And sometimes when energy moves through you, it's like you can feel it, right? You can feel tired from that experience. But then it's like, okay, I'm coming back out to, I went in, I regathered my fragmented self. I pulled myself back together. I felt all that stuff, and through that, grounding kind of can happen as well. Okay, tell us about this intuition, a new beginning, and 5 of action. Proud. Be proud of who you are, where you have been, and where you are going, right? We are here as spirits evolving our soul. So we are here having challenges, learning lessons. And so when we look at all that we have been through, all that we have overcome, all that, maybe all the lessons that we learned, right? Because maybe it took us a while to learn a particular lesson, but then eventually we start to see a pattern. And when we become aware, self-awareness of patterns, that's when we can break cycles, right? When we can get out of our thoughts because we see them for what they are, a cycle. Okay? All right, again, proud. Okay, under this catalyst, tell us what's here with a new beginning and the messenger of action. Okay, we have music. Express yourself by playing an instrument or singing. Music will lift your spirits. It's actually interesting. I just was out looking at a music store, but it was really busy traffic, and so I really didn't need to go there, but I was going to go there, and but here it is coming up again, right? Music. So express yourself by playing an instrument or singing. Music will help lift your spirits, but also being cognizant of, if you know that you're going in to raise your spirits and you start singing a song or singing along to a song and you notice that it lowers your vibration because it makes you feel some sort of way, the music might be great, but the lyrics might be tough, right? So considering that and awareness of that. And there are times when crying will help us break free of something that has been causing a blockage. So it's just simply awareness, right? Messenger of action. So you could be getting a message. Someone could be coming in that is a catalyst. So something breaks down so that you might tap more into music, a happy change, right? Something about your career and or your creativity, which very much could be in music. All right, so we're going to wrap this up with, it's called a prayer of Jabez, and let's see what comes up here that would be helpful and or encouraging for your journey. As you wait before God today, remember who He is. And then it says, He is your Father, giving, compassionate, and faithful. And what fills His heart right now is a deep longing to pour out His favor on your life, right? So being, grateful for that and aware of that. And when we think of the word good, it comes from the word God, right? So this goodness that comes into our life and being grateful for that goodness. So that is the message today. I want to say thanks for joining me. I hope you have an amazing day. Take care.